Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on histograms, question number 5 with me, Mr. Barton. Now this is a beautiful histogram question, once again testing all your skills of histograms out. So let's have a look at it. The histogram and frequency table show information about the time in hundreds of hours, that's going to be important, that a number of similar light bulbs lasted, so 0 to 8, and remember that's 800 hours, there were 48 light bulbs. In that category, 8 to 12 hours, we don't know how many, blah, 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 but we have a bit of a histogram going on below that's going to come into play. Alright, what do we know about histograms? So, there's a big thing we need to know is that frequency density is equal to frequency divided by the width of each group. And also the other thing that's really important is that the area of each bar is equal to the frequency of that bar. If you remember those two things and you know how to apply them, you can't really go wrong with histograms. So let's have a look at this first one here. There are 48 light bulbs between 0 and 8, and we've got that bar drawn on for us there. 48 light bulbs between 0 and 8. And you can check whether my theory is right with that one, that the area should be equal to the frequency, because that's got a base of 8, 0 to 8, and it's got a height of 6, and 6 eighths are 48. So that's good news there. Well, let's use that same principle to get the number of light bulbs for this. 8 to 12, that's got a base of 4. It's got a height all the way up to 8, and 4 times 8, I think, is 32. So that must be 32 light bulbs. Well, that's not too bad. Okay, now we've got to go the other way with this one. 12 to 16 has got 40 in it. So we need a rectangle, let's draw it here, that's 12 to 16, so it's got a base of 4, and it's got to have an area of 40. Well, the only way you're going to get that, I think, is if you have a height of 10. So let's draw it in. Let's get our frequency density up to 10. Little line down there, little line down there. And that, I think, has got a frequency of 40, an area of 40 now. What about 16 to 20? That's got a base of 4. It's got a height of 7. 7 fours 28, so it must have an area of 28, so a frequency of 28. And that leaves us with this last one, 20 to 30. I need 20 light bulbs in there. Again, let's draw myself a little rectangle down here. 20 to 30, that has a base of 10 to get from 20 to 30. Just move that out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. And I need an area of 20. Well, the only way I'm going to get an area of 20, I think, is if I have a height of 2. So 20 to 30, I need a height of 2. Bang that in there. Bang that across there. 20 to 30, and we're good to go there. That's got an area of 20. Sorted. But that is not the end of the fun. The fun's just getting going on this question. Look at this. Complete the frequency table and histogram. Yeah. Done that. So turn over 4 marks there. Find an estimate for the number of light bulbs that lasted between 2,000 and 2,400 hours. Now, remember, this is in hundreds of hours, so that's 20 and 2,400 hours. So 20 to 24. Let's have a look on my histogram. 20 to 24. So basically it's just saying, what's that area there? That's all that's saying there. How many lasted between 2,000 and 2,400, or 20 and 24? We know area is just the frequency. So that's got a base of 4 and a height of 2. 4 times 2, I think, last time I checked, was 8. So let's write that down. 4 times 2 equals 8 bulbs. Sorted. Now, what about this one, little 3 marker? There are 56 bulbs that lasted less than Y100 hours. Now this, put a little star by this, these are cropping up a little bit, these questions. They're flipping hard, but I think we can get it. There are 56 bulbs that lasted less than Y hours. Calculate an estimate for Y. Right. So there is a certain number here that 56 bulbs lasted less than. Can it be in this first group? Well, it can't. We've got 48 bulbs lasted less than 8 hours, so it can't be in that group. Can it be together in this group in total? Well, we've got 48 and 32, which I think is 80. So there are 80 bulbs that lasted less than 1,200 hours, and there are 48 bulbs that lasted less than 800 hours. So the answer must be somewhere within this group. Now the question is, how far within this group is it? So 56 bulbs. Well, the first 48 bulbs are in this group. So we need essentially to go 8 bulbs into this group, because we've got to get up to 56. 48 are in here, and there's going to be some number here. I don't know where it is, but there's got to be an extra 8 little bulbs in that bit. So when I've got my 48 and my 8, I have me 56. Well, that's not going to be too bad to find, because essentially what I've got is a rectangle. And I know I need that rectangle to have an area of 8. I know it's the extra 8 bulbs that I need. I also know the height of that rectangle. It must have a height of 8. I can see it there. It's got a frequency density of 8. So it's got to have a height of 8. So what's my width got to be? My width has to be 1. I have to be 1 into that group. Therefore, I get my area of 8. And once I've got my area of 8, and I add that to my area of 48, that's my 56 bulbs I need. So I need to go 1 into this group. Well, 1 into this group, instead of having 800 hours, is just going to be 900 hours. So I reckon, with that working out there, and I'm going to just spell it out a little bit, I'm going to say something like 56 bulbs, take off me 48 bulbs, equals 8 bulbs into the 8 to 12 group. And then I've got my little working out down there. So we need to go 1 into the group. So that's going to equal, instead of having 800 hours, that's going to be 900 hours. Now that is just using histograms, using the 2 facts that we wrote down there about area, but using it in a really applied, challenging context.